Thanks for inviting us in. It's now 11 o'clock, and we begin tonight with the man who's been convicted of shooting an IMPD officer in 2022. Today, he was sentenced to 87 years in prison. Mylik Hill was found guilty last month for wounding Officer Thomas Mangan. Our Chase Howell listened to the handful of people who took the witness stand and addressed Hill face to face as he learned his fate. Chase?
Scott, today we heard from Mangan's family and Mangan himself. The judge at one point saying to Mangan, "Mr. Hill may have taken your voice, but he has not taken your spirit." Officer Thomas Mangan was greeted with hugs by his brothers in blue outside a Marion County courtroom Monday. This came just moments after a judge sentenced the man who shot him in the neck, Mylik Hill, to 87 years in prison.
I think the jury found him guilty. They listened to the evidence that was presented to them and found that he was the one who was responsible and held him accountable by finding him guilty.
But it wasn't all smiles getting to this point. Mangan, along with his family, took the stand one last time to address Hill directly.
Not a day goes by that Tommy is not impacted by his attempted murder. When a waitress looks past him to communicate with Emery, unsure of his disability. When he coughs and chokes during meals and after on reflux. When he sits on the sidelines rather than playing. When the sound of his breathing gives him PTSD symptoms that require medication. When he quietly observes his friends and family's conversations instead of jumping in. When he can no longer even laugh along. When he's left at the end of the day to figure out what his calling is when it's been taken away.
Mangan's wife taking the stand, bringing up Hill's previous stint in prison.
He has shown that even 8 whole years spent behind bars meant absolutely nothing to him. He was only too ready to continue his pattern of violent behavior, even willing to take a human life to avoid being caught.
Barry York, Mangan's father-in-law, also took the stand, where he looked Hill right in the eyes.
But I say that shooting Tommy and then defending your actions, as heinous as they are, were made worse when you stood in the court as your own advocate and invoked the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, and then proceeded to tell lie after lie after lie. In so doing, you have become guilty of the grave sin of blaspheming the name of the Holy God.
Hill also got to address the court prior to sentencing, where he maintained his innocence.
Chase, thanks.